We're very fortunate to have that.
Are we going to see some pictures or videos soon? Or?
Yeah, there's some online. I haven't, one thing leads to the next, and you don't have time to do it. But
But it's part of the celebration.
It is part of the celebration. There's posts online. We just, there's only so much you can communicate. The goal of our space was to create an environment in which it was open, but there was closed spaces to work in smaller teams and break off, so that you could have an open floor plan in which serendipity can happen and overlap, and I heard that and this, which can be distracting, but when things require silence or you need to go someplace, there's places to do that. It also has a open floor plan for training and being able to allow other people in the community to be part of.
Yeah, you guys do a lot of workshops.
Yeah, we do workshops. We also do talks and stuff in which we invite people into the community. So our space is built around the idea that sharing, serendipity, closed spaces are going to be important to creating great results. Not everyone can work in that, and there's varying philosophies of closed rooms and whatnot. And we have people on headphones, and because they feel the comfort of their desk and they want that, but they don't want to move someplace else.
Yeah.
But and I think that's okay. Sometimes we overanalyze what we're trying to do in the spaces. I think when someone needs the quiet space, they need to be vocal about it and they need to find it.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, the employee's responsibility to do that, not necessarily the company's.
When it comes to dealing with life-work balance or just dealing with stressful situations, how do you make sure that you're not going over the edge?
Me or the company?
Well, both. You
Me?
specifically, we're most interested in you.
I subscribe to the philosophy that there is no work-life balance. You are a whole person. I'm passionate about design. I also have other things going on in my life. I'm not going to take my work component and say I have to quadrant it into certain parts of my life. It doesn't never work for me. Running a business where you have responsibilities and looking to the future, it's never worked for me like that. So you have to be different in your planning, and I try and focus around my kids. My kids are very active. I have 3 of them. My wife is very important to me. It's hard as a business owner to also maintain relationships to the point where they need to be, but I think that's as a leader you start to mature, that you become a better leader by investing yourself in things outside of your business or your core competency, because you can really shape the lives of the people around you in a way more holistic, right? If I'm to consider myself looking at myself holistically, then I have to have some of those life skills to be able to help other people, kind of nudge them in that right direction. When you work with a lot of young people and you set high bars and expectations, they're not sure how to do it because they want to do a great job, and you need to push them to do a great job, but you can't babysit them, you can't hold their hand the whole time. And so that's a really tough place to be in, because being in a world where high expectations are there, and finding a place to cut the work off or figure out how to get satisfactory results can be very difficult. And so sort of my next wave of leadership is, how do you find that for people? How do you help them get to that ground?
When you are thinking about what's next for ZURB, is there like a big difference between ZURB in 5 years' time than it is today, or is it just an evolution of what you're currently doing?
So we met our expectation of our mission. We set out on a mission 5 years ago, said, hey, we're going to diversify the way we think about providing services. We're going to think about it from a training perspective, we're going to build software, and we're going to provide services, and we're going to look at it more holistically. We accomplished that. What we need to do now is figure out, okay, well, how do you make that better? How do you improve the quality of the software as it relates to the service? How do you get better training along with your service? So the next 5 years for us is really about integrating these ideas into something that's more cohesive, that helps people understand how they can relate to us. And that, for us, is progressive design. It's a philosophy as much as a methodology, but it's taking our 15 years of experience and helping people see that they can also do a lot of the same things we're doing with less resources, less time, but doing it in a way that's true to design. Not an agile process, not a process that advocates for an MVP, but the right amount of investment and time into something to get it to where it needs to be. And this is something unique that I think designers are thirsty and hungry for, is how do you take what you know and drive business decisions, and having process and ways of thinking about these problems are really our next phase of growth, is helping these other companies in the design field as well as organizations that have big design teams, and how do they push those initiatives forward and have a voice in the companies.
Now, you're in a particularly competitive market from a talent point of view. You guys are in San Francisco.
Right.
How do you find good talent and retain that talent?
You don't find good talent. You find great people that come to you, and you develop talent. If you think you're going to find a rock star, good luck. Our approach has always been is find people that have a vision for something great, that may not have all the right skills or have some skills that we have that the rest of the, or something unique to them. The business has some of those skills, and we can find overlaps. And I've never been of the mindset that there's a perfect employee, there's a perfect person. You kind of adapt your organization to people that are very passionate about what they're doing, that have good work ethics, and I think respect each other. And when you foster an environment like that, you'd be amazed at how much potential comes out of people. And trying to hire for nth degrees of differentiation between what I can produce isn't going to make a company more successful. It helps, but it means you have to have strong leadership.
That's it. Those are the questions. Thank you, Bryan.
Great, thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Appreciate it.